Yo, what's up, guys? You ever had one of those weeks where everything that could go wrong does go wrong? Like, you miss your bus, spill coffee all over yourself, and then get nuked. Twice. Oh, wait, that last part doesn't happen to you? Well, it did happen to one guy. Let me introduce you to Tsutomu Yamaguchi, a man who had the world's worst luck but somehow came out on top. Let's take it back to 1945. So, it's August 6th, 1945. World War II is raging, and Yamaguchi, who worked as an engineer for Mitsubishi, is in Hiroshima on a business trip. Dude's just trying to get stuff done and head home to Nagasaki, right? He's probably like, man, I can't wait to be done with this trip. Gonna grab some sake, maybe catch up on sleep. But hold up. Fate had other plans. Because on that very day, the US decided to drop the first atomic bomb ever used in war on Hiroshima. Yeah, you heard that right. My guy Tsutomu was just a couple miles away from Ground Zero when the bomb known as Little Boy hit the city. At 8:15 a.m., Yamaguchi's walking to the shipyard, probably thinking about how he's going to explain to his boss why his trip was so long, when suddenly, boom! The sky lights up brighter than 1,000 suns. A blinding flash followed by a deafening explosion. Hiroshima is basically turned into a wasteland in seconds. Yamaguchi is thrown off his feet, and this is no gentle tumble. He's blasted through the air like a rag doll, and when he hits the ground, it's not just dirt, it's rubble and flames. He's only 2 miles from where the bomb dropped. That's like standing outside your neighborhood and watching it go up in flames in a split second. Now you'd think, there's no way this guy's getting up after that, right? Wrong. Yamaguchi, the ultimate survivor, somehow makes it out of this mess alive. Sure, he's got burns on half his body, his eardrums are blown out, and his vision is all but gone thanks to that flash of light, but the guy's still breathing. He crawls his way through the carnage of what used to be Hiroshima. Buildings flattened, people screaming, fire everywhere. This isn't your typical bad day at the office. And what does Yamaguchi do next? Does he sit there feeling sorry for himself? Nah, this guy's like, I need to get home. So, after finding some shelter for the night, surrounded by devastation, Yamaguchi gets patched up at a makeshift hospital the next morning. He's still got a job to do. The man's committed. After that, he heads to the train station and catches the first ride back to Nagasaki, because, I guess after surviving a nuclear blast, you don't sweat the small stuff like travel plans. Now you'd think, okay, that's enough drama for 1 week, right? Oh, but no, this story's just getting started. So Yamaguchi rolls back into Nagasaki on August 8th. He's covered in bandages, barely alive, but he goes straight to work the next day. That's dedication. He walks into his boss's office like, yo, Hiroshima got nuked, the city's destroyed, we gotta figure out what to do. And his boss? His boss looks at him like, psh, no way, that sounds made up. Because yeah, I guess that does sound crazy, doesn't it? But just as Yamaguchi's trying to convince his boss about what happened, Nagasaki gets its turn in the nuclear spotlight. August 9th, 11:02 a.m., here comes Fat Man, the second atomic bomb. And you know what? Yamaguchi's like, not again. But yeah, again. Another blinding flash, another deafening roar, and Nagasaki is now hit by its own nuclear bomb. This one is even more powerful than the first. And guess who's there to witness it firsthand? Yamaguchi. Man's just trying to work, and now he's in the middle of 2 of the most destructive events in human history, in the span of 3 days. You'd think lightning doesn't strike twice, but apparently nukes do. And yet, Yamaguchi survives. Again. He's not even 2 miles from where the second bomb hits either. He gets knocked down, hurt even worse, and the radiation poisoning starts kicking in. But does he let it stop him? Nope. Dude is still standing. Now let's just pause here for a second. This guy has survived 2 atomic bombs in 3 days. I don't know about you, but if that were me, I'd be like, all right, universe, you win. I give up. But not Yamaguchi. The guy's built different. He checks in on his family, his wife and kid who were also in Nagasaki. And guess what? They survived too. They had taken shelter in a tunnel when the bomb hit. After surviving 2 nuclear explosions, Yamaguchi's body is beaten, burned, and poisoned with radiation, but he still manages to keep going. He gets treated at a hospital, again, and eventually recovers enough to live a somewhat normal life. Dude's the definition of resilience. So, what happens after this wild story? Yamaguchi didn't just fade into the background after the war. He lived until he was 93 years old. And not only that, he became an outspoken advocate against nuclear weapons. Because, duh. If anyone knows how bad nuclear bombs are, it's the guy who survived 2 of them. He spent the rest of his life talking about the dangers of nuclear warfare, traveling, and sharing his story. In 2010, Yamaguchi passed away from stomach cancer, but he left behind a legacy that's just as big as the bomb blasts he survived. And here's the kicker. He wasn't officially recognized as a double survivor of both bombs until 2009. 64 years later, Japan was like, okay, yeah, you're officially a legend now. TLDR. Tsutomu Yamaguchi survived not 1 but 2 atomic bombings. Hiroshima, Nagasaki, didn't matter. Man walked away from both, lived to 93, and became a voice for peace. So, the next time your day's going bad, just remember, at least you're not getting nuked. Twice.